Hello, welcome to A Simple Life. It has finally stopped raining. We had close to a week of just non-stop pouring nasty rain weather. And then as soon as the weather broke, all logging areas started doing their clear cut burns. And so it's been a mix of smoky and cloudy for the last like 2 weeks. I'm up here with the goat herd, just checking on them. A little bit of an update. Cookie dough is still doing excellent. I checked her today. Her wound is nasty. It is a nasty wound. She's gonna make it. She's eating, she's drinking, she's got a great appetite. That is super awesome and positive. On another note, I came by the next day to check on the herd, and Merle was laying in the woods, and he barked at me like, hey, I'm guarding something over here. So I kind of went over to check what it was, and it turns out when the coyotes attacked Cookie Dough, they attacked another goat as well. That other goat, I actually walked right by her. The only reason why I didn't see her is she was behind a big old huge Doug fir. Pretty much she died because I didn't see her. She just had some bite marks in the back of her neck. And that was it. So she'd gotten away from them, but then she laid down in the woods and got cold and died, because that's what goats and sheep do when they get hurt. They just lay down and then they get cold if it's winter and they die. So anyways, that's the update. A bit shocking. I came out the next couple days and did some coyote calls, and I believe I got I got at least a couple of the coyotes that came in. So that's a positive thing. I don't show that stuff on video because this isn't a hunting channel. This channel's about life on the farm, and I'm not showing that kind of stuff. It's just not what I'm doing. I'm gonna roll the log. So this is on the bottom. I think it'll make a nice, I think that'll work out nice for us. And then we'll go from there. Once Clint comes back with the water, because I need water to lubricate the cuts. There we go. All right, let's set up. This side of the log is pretty darn round. So this is going to be, and it's the small side. And you can see looking down the log, it's got a little bit of a whip going this way. And the bottom of the log is actually kind of oddly shaped. So you can see it's a little oddly shaped. It's a little flatter on the bottom and on this side. So what I'm probably going to do is just get the cant the best I can. And we'll have some boards that have some wonky corners, but overall I'll have some really good pieces. Now, the reason I'm not going to square cut the end of this is because all this is going to be 2x4s, and so the 2x4s are easy enough to square cut when I'm using them, and I'm not going to worry about it. These are all going to be 2x4s for framing chicken coops and the refrigerator and that kind of stuff, so I'm going to end up cleaning them up anyways. Nice and tight. Alrighty. All right, let's get her going. She's going. We're probably only going to get a couple cuts in. I don't think we're going to even finish this camp. It's getting a little dark out, but it's still a beautiful night. A little on the chilly side, probably in the 50s. Yeah, we're in the 50s. It's still a beautiful night. Such a nice night. All right. Let's see if we can get a cut going, and we'll go from there. Alright, well, we're done for tonight. Clay's back at the house with Mom. He said it was too cold. Well, it's a cold fall evening up here at Herman's. Got my buddy Merle here with me. And we're gonna do some milling. Blocked this out a little bit more last night before we left. I know I got some corners, but if I take off another inch or two, okay, off each side, that's like 6 or 7 2x4s that I'll miss in the middle. So we're just gonna have a few 2x4s that have some wonky corners, and we'll be good. It's been a year since I ran the mill, and I just wasn't really thinking as I started to cut this, and I ended up cutting big 2-inch thick planks, and then I turned them all on their side, as you see, and then I cut off my 2x4s. You'll see how I cut the next log. That's the way I normally cut it. I don't know what I was thinking, but it worked out. Whew, it is wet out. I mean, it's not pouring, it's just wet enough, we'll put it that way. Well, we got, let me see, 7 times 4, we got 28 2x4s by a little over 8 feet. Obviously there's some in there that have some missing corners, but it's pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. That wasn't too bad. I think we spent a total of maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours by the time it was all said and done and we got everything cut. So now I'll load up another one and see if we can't get a cant started on that. A cant is, so I'm not trying to talk down to folks because I also don't know a lot of the terms, but a cant is the big square cut down log. So you take a log, once you square it off, that's considered a cant. So just a FYI, I'm sure there's a lot of terms that I say that, or things I miss, and In those cases, I apologize for being ignorant. All right, well, let's get, hey, what are you doing? Are you a billy goat? That didn't take you long. This is the log we're gonna be turning into 2x6 by 12 footers or so. It's not the best log. It's got some limbs on it. But for what I'm doing with it, it'll be perfect. I need this for doing the greenhouse. We need a bottom board that sits up basically against the ground, and we also need a the board, like the hip, I think it's called a hip board, at waist height. And so I need to make a bunch of those. It's going to be a 72-foot long structure, so I'll need enough for 4 runs of that, 2 for each side. And then I'm also going to need some 2x4s and stuff like that, which I have some 2x4s I cut the other day. But I'm going to need some longer ones for the for around the doors on the end. So anyways, we're gonna get going. We're gonna get this started. The weather seems to be holding for us. We got some blue skies over here, but everything else is kind of gray and dreary today. But hey, what can you expect? It's the Pacific Northwest. You always got rain. So, you know, as soon as October ends, you're not guaranteed anything after that. So, all right, well, we're gonna get going, and you can see kind of me turn this into a camp, and then we'll turn it into some lumber. All right, see you guys in a little bit. I've talked about the primal satisfaction I get from taking a log and turning it into lumber. There's just something satisfying about being right next to the trees you're cutting down and then turning them into lumber. There's something just right about it. And I'm not trying to get tree hugger on you. I'm just talking about what it does for me. For me, I can be out here freezing cold in the rain, and this feels right. Having my boys running around. Clay doesn't have a jacket on. You'll see at the end of the night. It's like 50 degrees out. He has a jacket. I make him bring it. The bugger won't wear it. If anybody knows how to duct tape a jacket to a kid, let me know. I need a trick to keep a jacket on that one. Anyways, I'll let you guys enjoy this. It's something really nice about being able to work with lumber, see my boys watch me, know that someday they'll be doing the same thing. Because every time I do something like this, I tell them, someday you'll be doing this. The other thing I tell them is that all this hard work I'm doing is not for me. It's all for them. All the work on this farm is for them. By the time this farm is up and running and beautiful, and it'll be lovely to work, and all the trees and gardens and everything will be tip-top, and there will be pastures for goats, and it'll just be beautiful up here, I'll be an old man, and it'll be theirs. They know that. I tell them that on a regular basis, that this is for them. I've heard people talk about generational wealth. It's something that we've lost in our society. And I don't mean generational wealth as in money, currency, gold. The generational wealth of knowledge. I'm missing it. But what I'm doing every day, I bring my boys up. Every day I spend up here is I'm gaining a little bit of it back. I'm making the mistakes that hurt. So hopefully I can share the successes with my boys, because I want them to have a simple life. Okay, we're done for the night. We got a total of 16 boards. A couple of them have a little bit of wonky edges, but that's okay. For what we're gonna use them for, it'll be perfect. We might have enough to do the greenhouse. I haven't done the math on it, and I'm not gonna try to do it right here. But Mill did great, ran like a champ for me. We're done. It's starting to rain. I gotta put a few things away, and then we're gonna go down and get some dinner, right boys?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of A Simple Life.
Bye. Bye.